Hey guys, Josh here again. We're going to be explaining our calendar system, uh, and this video is really some of it's going to be review, but some of it's going to be new. Um, but the goal here is to get everybody on the same page as far as how we use our calendars, how we are bidding for classes, and getting a more clear, consistent system with all of that so that we're all on the same page and we have a little bit of uniformity. And I think this is just going to really promote um, consistency for everybody, make everybody's lives a little bit easier when we're scheduling these classes. One important point is we have started using the new Enrollware system. Uh, there are many, many benefits on that system. If you've watched the intro video on it, you've seen, and some of you have already used it. But we are not at this point going to be um, using the instructor bidding process that is on your Enrollware login. So I'm just going to real quick show you that. This is, we're using Scott's login here. Um, this section over here where it says instructor bidding underneath your classes and students. At this point, we're not going to worry about this. The only thing you need to worry about is your upcoming classes, and these will be assigned to you, and then you will only be able to see these, like we kind of talked about in the other video. What is critical, though, is we will still be utilizing the email notifications when you are assigned a class. You will receive an email, and then it will also shoot you an email prior to the class. So that is one part of the Enrollware system with the instructor scheduling that will be used. But as far as the actual instructor bidding, we're not going to use right now. Ultimately, what's going to happen here is we are in the process of starting to offer more classes, um, and there's going to be more per week, more consistent classes, um, some different days, some different set times, which I'll go through here in a second. But big picture is that we are going to be hiring some more instructors, at least two more in Sacramento, and maybe even a third, and at least one more, maybe two in Modesto. And this is just to create a larger pool for all of our classes, our hosted classes that we hold at locations, I'm sorry, at our locations, and then of course our on-site classes that we hold at their locations. So this calendar process for you that are currently active, um, it's very critical that we're all on the same page with this. Especially as we start to bring new people in, there's going to be more people, quote unquote, bidding for classes, and it's going to be crucial that you stay up on those. Um, One overall change is that starting with the September calendars, September schedule, which will be released today, it's the first of the month, um, is we are going to be making a slow transition into more set days and times. And this is the Sacramento calendar as it looks. The big change is our times. We have three standard times that are going to be just across the board standard times for classes: 6:30, 9 a.m., and 1 p.m. On our Saturdays. But the evening classes are now going to all be at 6:30, and this is critical because some of them are at 6 and some of them are at 6:30 now, but we're going to move everything to 6:30. Um, Obviously, for those of you that have taught in Sacramento, 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock is horrible traffic time, and we do have a lot of late arrivals, and so I think bumping it up to 6:30 is going to make it much easier for people to get there on time. So that's a big change. And then our Saturday classes will always be at 9 o'clock and at 1 o'clock. Um, so just a much more flat schedule rate. We're also going to have more consistent days. You can see that we have, this is moving into October. We've got more consistent days and times. Really just all in the name of creating uniformity and consistency for everybody. Now it is important to note that the 6:30 times are going to be starting in September, and that we have classes already scheduled in August that are still going to be at the 6 o'clock time. So make sure that you're paying attention, um, and that there are some 6 o'clock ones as well as some 6:30 ones, but that you're paying attention to that it's not actually going to start until September. Okay, so for our Gmail calendars, I've logged into one of our calendars here to show you kind of the basics. This calendar, um, if it's not already given to you, will be given to you. You'll have your own login and password and access to this from home, from your phone, wherever. And this is going to be where you put in your availability, where you can see what classes are upcoming and which ones are available for you, and then which ones you've also been confirmed with. This is critical. Obviously, if you want classes, it's imperative that you keep this calendar updated and that you're paying attention to the markings and to the notes and to what classes. I would highly encourage everyone to put this and link this to their phones, and at a minimum, obviously at home or on your laptop, and so that way you always have access to this, and you can look at this. One critical point about these Google calendars is that these are unique to you, and only you and I are able to see these calendars. These are not public calendars, so any notes, any additions, any personal things that you want to put on here, all of that is a-okay. Only I can see it, and a lot of guys use these calendars in conjunctions with their personal calendars, so that's fine. But again, I would encourage you to link it up at least to your phones. So just real quick, the basics on the calendar, so that way we all have a very clear and consistent understanding of what things mean on here, and that it's all going to be the same. First of all, when you go in your calendar, you're going to see out August to September, all the way through basically the end of the year, what classes are available. And an available class is a question mark class. You can see here that this class has a question mark on it. You can go through, and the way that you are going to signify that you're available for that class is you're going to basically put okay or yes or available, whatever it is that you want, as long as it's a clear message that yes, I'm available for that class. Now, you putting that you're available or okay or yes doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be formally assigned that class. I'll talk about that here in a second. But it signifies to me that you are, in fact, available for that class. So anything that has a question mark is something that has not been confirmed. Now, if you get a class confirmed, then you're going to see the little positive symbol appear on the class. And that is me telling you that you have been assigned. Now, the beautiful thing about Enrollware is that you will also receive an email that states that you've been assigned to this class as well. But on your calendars, you can quickly see, okay, I've got a positive symbol, and that you're confirmed for that class. So it's important that you guys know the difference there, and that we're all using that same lingo and same system. Now, one other thing to point out is that the hosted classes, or the classes that are at our locations, are in the full boxed all day um, label, and then the on-site classes are not. The on-site classes are actually accompanied with a time, and they're not in a box. So it's critical that you see those on-site ones as well. And you can see here this one's got a question mark, and there's a question mark. And then this one has a positive symbol. Now, another thing about on-site classes. If you want on-site classes, classes where you're taking equipment and going out, it is critical that you are putting in your times that you're not available in your calendar. And Chris has done a good job here. He's got a couple of different things, a vacation marked off. He's got his work schedule here. He's working a 36. And this is exactly what we need. When we are scheduling group classes, we need to know that for sure you're not available on these days. If you are not putting that availability or unavailability in there, it's going to be very difficult for us to determine if you're available for on-site classes. And so it's critical that you're doing that. One other thing about the on-site classes is that we have added a map link in there that you can click on there, and it'll take you to Google Maps. And then also within the event, know that every on-site event is going to have class details in here, which is almost always going to include, we always try and include a contact number for where you're going, as well as obviously an address, and then what you're going for. So if you get lost or you need to call somebody, usually the phone number or email is going to be in there. So just note that you'll have those notes within the events for on-sites. So that's a basic overview of the different things within your Google Calendars. Again, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to keep these up. Some of you do really good at maintaining your calendars, and you know who you are, and some of you don't, and you know who you are too. And if you want classes, especially as we get a larger instructor pool, there's going to be more bidding on here. Now, every month, on the first of the month, I will be sending out texts like you're getting today that, hey, we need to update our calendars, look ahead into the following month. If, September would be an example for this month, and you need to signify what classes you're available for. But that doesn't mean that you can't go further out than that. In fact, the further out that you can go, the better. Now, some of us have schedules that allow us to do that, some of us don't. So I'm not going to say that you have to, but we need to be at least a month out on your calendars. Ideally 2 months, and the further out the better. And I'll have dates in there as far out as possible. But you will get monthly reminders to check your calendars so that you're at least 1 month out. So that's, again, kind of an overview of the calendar system, and just make sure that you have access to that and you review this video. This video will also, with all of our other videos, be accessible on our YouTube channel, and you can go in here and review this if you need to. And of course, if you have questions, you can reach out to me, and I'll do my best to try and answer and help you. All right, thanks.